Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Guys, before we get into the beer, I want to take a minute here to thank everyone for their well wishes and donations they've done on the GoFundMe page that James set up for me. The response and actually the donations and the response have been overwhelming to me, guys. It leaves me speechless, guys. I don't know what to say. I appreciate all the love and all the caring that all my subscribers and people have shown me over the last couple of days on this GoFundMe page. So if you're not aware of what's going on, just check out the update from Greg that I posted a couple of days ago, and you'll see. This is probably going to be the first beer review that I'm going to post since all that transpired. So I'm not going to go into the details. If you want to see what that video is about, go check out the update from Greg on YouTube. Like I said, thanks a bunch. Love you all. I appreciate all the care and support you're showing me. So let's get on with this beer and let's see what we got here. This is from Deschutes. They are available here. They're getting ready to build a brewery here in the Roanoke Valley here in a couple of years, and they're shipping their beers here now. They make some really tasty stuff, guys. And seen this at the store, and I said, I've not had that particular version of the beer. So I actually went on ahead and picked up a 6-pack, which I rarely do unless I had it before. So let's see what it brings to the table. These guys at Deschutes, it's got 7.0% alcohol, 60 IBUs, and unfortunately these guys are during the Best Buy date, or Best Before date. It says Best Buy here, December the 2nd of 2016, and I'm reviewing this on the 14th of September. So, from what I've heard, Deschutes gives their IPAs a 4-month shelf life. That's pushing it a little bit, in my opinion. After 90 days, even at 90 days, the beers, the IPAs have substantially lost some of their hop presence as opposed to the first couple of weeks or 30 days it being in the bottle. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of them giving it that long of a shelf life, and not a fan of them using a Best Buy date instead of a bottled on date. So, and that's one reason these guys do Best Buy or Best Before dates, because it gives them longer shelf life. You have no idea how long the beer's been sitting around. So, all right, let's see what we got here. But we do have an ABV and IBU on the bottle, and they give you a Best Before date. December, this beer is not going to have nowhere near the hop presence that it has in August and September. It's just not going to. It's going to be way more maltier than what it is right now. So, drink them fresh, guys. That's what I say. All right, we've given you all the information. I don't have a commercial description here on this beer, so we'll go straight over to the food pairings while I get the top open and get to pouring it. Cuisine for your IPAs is your curried in your Thai, cheeses, peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blue, cheddar, gorgonzola, Limburger. Your stronger cheeses go well with your IPAs. And the glassware is a pint, becker, knife, tumbler, mug, sign, sidel. I like using my favorite glass here, the solid beer glass, favorite tulip glass. Not recommended for Castilian celery. Tell you that all the time, guys. Drink them fresh. I would probably, knowing that these guys do a 4-month shelf life, I would not buy this beer in December. It's going to be in the 4th month. The hops have faded substantially. About a finger and a half of head on that pour. It does have a nice amber color, deep amber color. A lot of bubbles streaming up. Looks pretty good. First beer of the day. Let's get a nose. Get a big old nose down in there. Now guys, it does have a little bit of pininess in there, but it's not your typical West Coast style. They're calling this an autumn IPA is what it's got on the bottom. Autumn IPA. Traditional Marzen beer inspired IPA. So I don't know if they use lager yeast in the brewing of this, but they did hop it up quite a bit for it, as opposed to a Oktoberfest style beer or anything. But there is a nice maltiness to the beer. Caramel and toffee aromas. A little bit of herbal, floral hop, like a European hop would have. Seems like it's 50-50 between the hop presence and the malt presence on the nose, guys. Well, let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Like I said, not a typical West Coast style, but there is a substantial hop presence in this, guys. They have, seems to me like they've taken a Oktoberfest or a Marzen beer and hopped the hell out of it. Like I said, I'm not sure whether they use lager yeast or ale yeast in this. Decent beer. Decent beer. I don't think it's outstanding or world class. But a nice balance between the maltiness and the hoppiness. Right now, in September. We're about the middle of September the 14th here. This is going to be way more malty in December than it is right now. So if you like that heavy maltiness, pick you up some, throw it in the fridge, and hold on to it for a little bit. The hops will fade. It's 7%. It's not going to go bad before December. If you don't like that big piney West Coast style hop IPA, some of the East Coast styles don't have that big hop aroma. They do have substantial hop bitterness to them, some of them, but they don't have that big up-in-your-face hop profile. And this one doesn't either to me. And these guys are over on the West Coast, so to me it's a little subdued as opposed to maybe a freshly squeezed IPA that they produce, or even the Pine Drops, which I wasn't a big fan of. But they do some really good beers. I mean, they really do. Mirror Pond and Red Chair, and the favorite one from me is the Abyss that they produce. It is freaking awesome, guys. So, and that's the way I am. I like a big West Coast style IPA, and I like a big bourbon barrel stout too. Start off with the lighter beers and finish up with that big heavy duty beer at the end of the evening. So, well, let's right out of the fridge. Let me let her have a taste 2 or 3 and sip on it for a little bit, and we'll come back and see where all the cards fall here, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here, maybe a little bit more than a little bit. Guys, to me, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I am not super blown away by this. There is a decent balance between the hops and the malt. To me, it tastes like it's already 3 months old, where the hops in the IPA is already faded off a little bit. And I don't think it's that old. I'm pretty sure this is probably only about a month old. Like I said, they give it a 4-month. They give their beers a 4-month shelf life. So August, September, October, November, December would be the 4th month. So I'm thinking this was bottled around the first week of August. and here we are in the middle of September. So it's about 6 weeks old, I would imagine. So I did go to their site because I was curious whether they use lager yeast or an ale yeast to produce this style of beer, and which I typically don't go to the beer websites that produce the beer. I may start doing some of that just to get a little bit more information, but I went ahead and checked them out. According to Deschutes, they use Munich, Vienna, and Pilsner malts on this, and the hops are Hercules, Sterling, and Whole Melon. So, not familiar with any of those hops. I'm sure I've had them, but I don't grow them and I don't brew with them. I am familiar with the Munich malt, Vienna malt, and the Pilsner malt, but those are usually done with your lager beers. So it is what it is. And they are calling it an ale here on their site, so instead of a lager. But they're saying the brewer note says inspired by a traditional Marzen beer, which is a lager. German hops and herbal fruit and spice notes develops a smooth and elegant malt character. It's a little heavy on the maltiness for an IPA style to me, guys. I mean, it's a little less hoppier than an East Coast style typically is. So it's okay. I mean, it's like I said, I don't think it's outstanding or world class. A nice little change, but to me, it's more. It's not got what I'm looking for in an IPA. I mean, and as far as the IBU 60, I would call this a pale ale, guys, instead of an IPA. It's just my opinion. Let's do the final chug here. Definitely got a nice maltiness to it. Caramel, toffee. Hops are very subdued since they've used these European style hops. More floral, herbal than piney, grapefruit, and pineapple, and tropical fruit notes. So it's okay. It was okay. Not blown away. I don't think I'll buy it again, to be honest about it, guys. It just doesn't have what I'm looking for in an IPA. Not a bad beer, but not something that when I look for an IPA, I want that up in your face, piney, grapefruity, pineapple taste. I do. So maybe a good transitional beer. If you don't like that up in your face style hop, to pick up some of this and give it a try, or pick up one of them anyway, see if you like it. So not too awful bitter with 60 IBUs. I mean, it could be much worse. I mean, 60 is not bad compared to 70, 80, and 90, but still. If you were looking to get into a pale ale, there are some pales that are in the 40 to 55 range as far as bitterness. Don't have quite as much as this one's going to have, but Deschutes makes some really tasty beers. Wasn't blown away, guys, bottom line. The numeric rating on this, guys, I'm going to give this a 6, which is a B. If it had a bottled on date, I might give it a B+, but since it's got a Best By date on it, I'm not a big fan of that, guys. Y'all know that. It doesn't let us know how old the beer is, because different brewers get these styles of beers in different shelf lives. 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And I want to know that without having to do a bunch of research to find out what they do give their beer, what shelf life they give them. So that's my opinion. Let's go over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 85 in a very good range. That's exactly where I'm putting it. That's exactly where I'm putting it. A B, solid B, 85. So over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer is not too kind. Overall, 53-34 in the style. So unimpressive to those guys over there. And for our final check-in, we'll go over to Untapped. Untapped has it at 3.78, which is a B+. So it's just a tad above the B+. Once you get to the 3.75 and up, it's a B+ till it gets to 4. So if it had a bottle on date, I would go to the B+. But since it has a Best By date, I'm not going to go there. Because you don't know. You just don't know how old the beer is when they do these Best By or Enjoy By dates. So that's where we're going to leave it. If you've had this, Deschutes Brewing Hopzeit Autumn IPA, let me know what you think. You may love it. It was okay. I'm gonna leave it there. Well-made beer. You didn't get any hints of the alcohol, 7%. But I probably would prefer their freshly squeezed IPA over this. So, if you've had it, let me know, guys. And once again, I want to thank all my subscribers and everybody that's sent well wishes and made donations to the GoFundMe page. A lot of stuff going on in Greg's life right now, and with all the medical things going on with my knees and surgeries and everything, and selling of the cabinet shop. Don't know what the next door is going to open for me, but I'm going to be laid up until probably the first of the year. So thankfully all my wonderful subscribers are thinking about me, and my beer brothers, Brandon C. and Rico and so many others that are still sending me beer packages. They still have something to do as far as reviewing some beers and having something tasty to drink. So thank everybody. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. And come on back tomorrow. Let's take something out of the fridge. I'll see you then.